He says later in this same chapter in verse 11, I am nobody. Come to grips with that. You ever get frustrated at a lack of growth in your life, a lack of Christ-likeness in your life? You ever say, man, I've been following the Lord for 26 years. I don't feel like I've changed a ton. One of the ways in which I change is by focusing upon the life and the work of Jesus Christ, actually keying in on what he actually did, and then how that's explained to me in places like this in detail. Well, why would you do that? Again, I would say this is Paul trying to distance himself from the concept that, look, I am so special. He says later in this same chapter in verse 11, I am nobody. Come to grips with that. Let that sit in your soul for a little bit. In our culture today, in our psychologized culture today, like one of the worst things you can say is something like that. I'm nobody. I asked Gary to read that earlier passage from 1 Corinthians, because what did Paul say there? Who does God choose? Not many wise, not many noble, not many mighty according to the cause. He chooses the things that are not to nullify the things that are. That is such an insulting thing to say in a philosophy-oriented culture like Corinth. Paul takes that thing and he inverts it and he says, hey, this is what a Christian ought to look like. So this boasting is necessary. Although he has to do it, it's not profitable.